Hi friends! This week for garden work and for market project, we are going to be making flower arrangements. This is something that we would do at school and then we'd sell them at our Friday market. You can do it at home and then enjoy the flower arrangements inside your home. So the tools you will need, I have my gardening gloves, I have my gardening shears, and I have two vases, a large vase and a small vase. And you need some flowering bushes or some flowers around your property that your family doesn't mind that you pick. So let's go find some flowering bushes and pick some flowers.
Yes.
So the first bush that I have found is called a lilac bush. And my lilac bush has lovely light pink to purple blossoming flowers. Lilacs have a beautiful fragrance. They have a lovely smell. So when I cut my lilac, when I really cut any flowering bush, I'm going to see where the branch meets the larger branch and snip right there. Okay, I'm going to snip a few of these. So I also want to pick a variety of heights so that my arrangement will have a variety of heights. I also want to move around the bush so I don't pick all of the blossoms from one part of the bush, because then the bush doesn't look as nice. You want to have a nice combination of green leaves as well as your blossoms. Okay, this looks like enough lilacs. Now I'll take them back to the table and go find some more blossoming trees or bushes. All right, so I have a tree here on our property that has some lovely white and yellow blossoms. I'm going to pick some nice long stems. These are kind of high above my head. That's a long one. Great, this looks like a good amount. We'll take these back to the table and see what else we find. In here I've got some lily of the valleys. Lily of the valley also have a beautiful smell. Sweet little white blossoms that look like little bells. With lily of the valley, I like to get some of the leaves as well. That will look nice in our arrangement. And I also like to find leaves that have interesting patterns. So this leaf has a lovely white line around it. It also has a really pretty red stem in this bush. So I'll take a couple of those. Again, I don't like to overpick on one plant. So just be careful how much you're taking. Okay, let's head back to the table. Now when you're putting arrangements together, you want to think about the height of your container and the height of your either branches or your flowers. You also want to think about the width and how wide the arrangement's going to be. Also want to think about where you're going to put it inside, whether you're going to put it up high on a mantle over a fireplace. You want it to be interesting to see it looking up at it, or if you're going to put it on a lower counter, it will want to be interesting looking down on it. So those are all things to consider. I'm going to do my taller one first. So this was my longest cutting from the bush, and then I had a really long cutting from the blossoming tree. So I think I will start with these two, and then I'll fill in around with my lilacs. Sometimes there are smaller pieces down towards the bottom of the branch that you can just take off. Just trim them off with your fingers, because they'll just be floating in the water otherwise. So I'm starting with that. Filling in with my lilacs. And I'm making it facing the camera, which is a little difficult. So I'm going to turn it for a second. Yeah, that's pretty. I like to think about symmetry, which is the balance of the piece. If I have this piece going off to one side, I want to have another piece going off to the left side so that it's comfortable to look at. I think I'll stick one more small lilac in. Another thing you can use from around your property are just little sticks. These will help add height to your arrangement. I always like to use an odd number, so I'm putting in 3 of these sticks. Okay, there we go. There's the first one. Now I'm going to do a smaller one. So for the smaller one, I'm going to use the lily of the valley. That doesn't have a very long stem. Oh, I'm also going to use a jar instead of a vase, which is probably how we would be making them for market. And several of these pretty leaves with a nice red stem. Then fill in with the blossoming fruit tree. This one I'm making in my hand, and then what I'm going to do is trim the stems all to the same length. Some lilac. I think I'll trim the lilac. Actually, maybe that's kind of pretty. Yeah, that is pretty. We'll just leave it just like that. The only thing I want to rearrange is I want to see my lily of the valley. So I want the lily of the valley to be right up front. There we go. So I've got the lily of the valley in the front now, the lilacs in the back. Place it in the vase, the jar. And then let everyone just kind of fall naturally. There we go. And I think if we were at school, I'd probably put a ribbon around that, and it would be a lovely market presentation. So these are things that you can do at home. Just ask permission from your parents to clip some of your flowering bushes and flowering trees. Arrange them in a vase or in a jar, and enjoy all of your early summer blossoms. Happy gardening.